A whole other world. How many of these are there? Find these segments, huh? Well, Clementine and that talking ball of light hang out and meditate. Sure, sounds fair.
Paxeltag. The pestilence takes me. Or is it now simply part of what I am? It has been so long. The difference hardly matters. But the Paxeltag, how comes it here, to Asia? Seen them in my restless slumber. The pestilence think of them often, especially the stones of the Paxeltag's earth. I am Bedel of the Vaunt. When this world was young, the pan did service to the green and growing things. Now, the pan betrays the world. And the world, the wolf, betrays the pan. The Ravager, plague of the pan and defiler of the doe. The wolf hunts all, yet is itself unhunted. To the shame of all pan. Once part of the balance, the immortal Ravager has cast aside this world and pledged fealty to the pestilence that would destroy all worlds. And the Red Doe, that which held the Ravager in check for long and long, has not been seen in an age. If it seeks to save its own life and world, the Paxeltag must hunt the Ravager and end it. Much. Have I not made that clear? The beast is in allegiance with the foe of all that lives. The beast is not alone. The Lamir have given themselves to it in service. Once servants of the Eternal Empress, many Lamir have been seduced by the Ravager's blood-soaked tongue, and thus betrayed the ban. Beware, Paxeltag. They will fight until the beast's final breath. I can assure the Paxeltag it will be nothing of the sort. Ask it questions. I offer what truth I have. The beast is a part of Yesha. Wolf and Doe, Doom and Hope were already here when the ban crossed the darkness. The Vaunt saw both in a vision, but alas, my ancestors hid the former. At the height of our empire, the Ravager attacked and nearly destroyed the ban. It was only through the Song of Ifir that we were able to quiet the beast. Would that we had slaughtered it then, but the Lamir stayed our hand in the interest of the balance. Where the Vaunt lived in service of the guardian that gives life, the Lamir served to inter the dead. It was they that saw two sides to everything. The Lamir asserted that a healthy forest holds both flowers and fangs. Hope and doom. Life and death. If we destroyed one without thought, we would ultimately destroy all. So, the Ravager was spared. Kept at peace by song and strain for long and long. Until it came. No. Not Ford, nor the Destroyer, nor the Paxeltag before me. Though it destroyed, nonetheless. With the Ravager's peace broken, the unliving pestilence took its place. All things became corrupted, and I became this. Yes, the root, as the Paxeltag puts it, have broken the balance. It is their purpose, for they are the end of balance, the end of all things. Now, to save itself, the Ravager serves the pestilence as faithfully as the Lamir served the wolf. The balance is undone. Only the death of the Ravager and the restoration of the Doe can renew it. I know this in my bones. A spirit worthy of praise. A blessed portent of hope. The Doe is life and protection. Archetypal grace to confront the Ravager's hunger. For an epoch and more, the Doe has led her counterpart on a chase eternal. Alas, no more. For long and long, Doe and Wolf have been embattled, neither emerging the victor. For neither can. The one may gore and the other gnash. Neither will kill the other. Yet those foreign to Yesha, those not bound to the balance, are under no strictures. Paxeltak ended the wolf. Pestilence gave it new life. Just so. And the wolf has sworn servitude in exchange. For the Ravager loves nothing more than its own life. The balance has been shattered, and the future is uncertain. If the wolf can die, the Doe may as well. And the pestilence holds no compunctions for consequences. The children of the Doe believe the balance was ever a lie. That the Ravager should have died at the first, and the Doe must be reborn. I can agree with them on the latter. Yesha's only hope is for foreign to stop foreign. Paxeltak must face the pestilence and all who would side with it. I was attacked long ago. Seasons and seasons. It started as a small wound, but then it grew. Consumed me. Now, there is more of the plague than the ban. In truth, I know not why I still live, if living this truly be. Perhaps the pestilence wants something from me, from this body, and I live only because I fight. It is a fight I will lose. This is certain. The pestilence grows inside me. Even now, as we converse, it cannot be outlasted. The children of the Red Doe are innocence and naivete. They believe the balance was broken when the Empress first ate the fruit of life. If the balance was ever real to begin with. They're idealistic, unreasonable, foolhardy. And yet, when I look at what our ways have wrought, and how faithfully the children follow the Doe, I find it harder to question their beliefs. Trade? Perhaps. Money is of little use to me for obvious reasons, but others may find value in what the Paxeltak may leave behind. Take what it will, Paxeltak, but leave something it considers of equal value. Sacrifice to the balance, and give to the bank. I hope that proves a faithful companion to the Paxeltak as it did to me. And I hope the Paxeltak's small sacrifice makes ripples through the stream.
Okay, this is it. All right, let's do this. never seen anything like this before. All right, come on. Yeah. All right. Oh. Holy hell. Never seen anything like this before. This isn't looking good.
Certainly. All right. You know where to find me.
What is it now? All right then. Yeah. This better be good. What do you need? Okay, we're done.
Damn, it is you! Ooh, yikes. Yeah, they said you ran off with that old Ford fella and disappeared, and I ain't seen you since. Where have you been? Ha! That tracks. Someone gets in trouble, so you go on after her. Just remember you owe me still. That debt's non-transferable. I'm guessing this thing with Clementine had something to do with that big-ass crystal floating over there. Both said it can take you other places. Other worlds, even? Feels like anything can be true here. They even healed my root rot. I tell you what, I might just start believing in fairy tales. Even Santa Claus and Fulton's Blend. Yeah, I don't know what's in that stuff Doc Nora gave me, but I ain't felt this good for years. Hell, maybe it was Fulton's Blend. You know me. I get anxious sitting still for too long. So, I went out to the ruins and scrounged anything useful I could find. I was just doing what I do to survive, you know. Maybe get some things together for when we moved on, but then you didn't come back. And Bo said folks around here could use this stuff, so I set up shop. So hey, if you ever need anything out there in the worlds or whatever, you just let me know. I got all kinds of stuff for trade. Wait, for real? Folks around here have been worried sick about her. Well, don't just stand there gawking. Where is she? What? You sound like you've been drinking too much of Mudtooth's tonic. You know that, right? All right, well, is she coming back? So long as she's all right, I guess. I mean, I barely knew her, but she seemed like she could make her own choices just fine. So now that you found her, does that mean you're here to stay? I'm sorry. I just can't believe all those words were put into the same sentence. Or that I even understood some of it. Our lives got pretty weird, huh? I guess we were asking for it, looking for fairy tales and all. Well, I ain't going nowhere then. I'll be here when you need me, or when you're done, whichever comes first. Just make sure you come back, okay? Come back if you need anything.
You met Dale? Dan owes me a rabbit. Better yet, a rabbit.
Good to see you, friend. Oh, yeah? What kind of questions? Old as teeth, friend. Old as teeth. Everything we know comes from Founder Ford. That title don't come from nowhere. He was there at the start. When the world ended, about 120 years ago, give or take a decade, Ford and some survivors took shelter in old Ward 13 over there. I don't know how many wards there were, but they were all part of something called the Dreamer Project that went bad. Real bad. Ford and Clementine are the only ones what really know, and they don't like to talk about it. But old Reggie's got a gift for collecting stories, and I've gleaned a few things. At the wards, see, they connected people to machines that made them dream about other worlds. But these worlds were real, and the dreamers were seeing through the eyes of someone that lived there. Sounds like a bridge too far, don't it? It did for me, too. At least until I met Clementine. There are rumors. Some say he made a deal with the Root, and that's why he's so hell-bent on stopping him. Some say he was experimented on in the Dreamer Project. Some say he found some kind of magic out there in the years when he was traveling the worlds. Truth is, nobody knows. Maybe not even Ford himself. Personally, I think Ford's just tough as dirt and refuses to die. The story's pretty long, friend. Let me know if you get tired of the telling. After the world fell, see, Founder Ford carried the whole burden of what happened on his shoulders. Tell the truth, I don't think he ever put that burden down. But let's see, where were we? Ah, yes. Founder Ford carried a heavy burden in those earlier days. Probably still does. But what could he do? At first, nothing. He pressed on with the work of helping others survive. If you ask me, that was the best thing he could have done. It never should have stopped. Maybe he wouldn't have if Evelyn hadn't. See, Evelyn was his wife, and she was something special. She could, hear the Root, see what they saw. At first, she thought she was going insane. But then she started using it, spying on the dead wood. And she saw something coming. Something big. She saw a monster, something the ward, the whole city couldn't handle. And only one way out. She communed with the Root, I guess you'd call it. Melded her mind to theirs and drove the monster off. But the Root swallowed her, body and mind, until there was nothing left of Evelyn Ford. Her husband lost it then. He left the ward for months, sometimes years at a time, wandering the worlds trying to find something, anything that could stop the Root. And one day, he just didn't come back. Well, now my story's not through yet. The Fords, they had a daughter, Nadine. She was maybe 17 when her mother disappeared. Too young to run the ward, but when her pa was gone, folks would ask her their questions instead. Then one day, she was just in charge of everything. Nadine had her own daughter, Ellen, who really made us who we are today. Commander Ellen Ford inherited her mother's pragmatism, her grandfather's doggedness, and her grandmother's willingness to make hard choices. So whenever someone showed up, dehydrated, starving, half mad from loss, she took them in, taught them a trade in medicine and supplies, gave them a family. So you were paying attention. I owe a lot to Ellen Ford, and we
We all do. And I miss her something fierce, let me tell you. She was one of the dreamers, if you can believe it. The only one still alive, as far as I can tell. She says she got sucked out somehow, dragged into her dream world before the root came to Earth. I don't understand it much. I reckon she don't either. But she found herself in a place called Remnant, a world covered in snow and inhabited by giant intelligent rats. Don't know how she survived, but I imagine it has to do with those powers of hers. Hey, that's the story I still haven't gotten out of her. Sure is. But power like that don't come without a cost. I can only imagine what it must take out of her to control a power like that. Oh, about 20-odd years ago, we had almost nothing left. Trapped in Ward 13 with nowhere to go and the root getting worse all around us. Then this stranger wanders in out of the storm, makes friends, picks up some gear, and damned if they don't take the fight to the root. I still don't know if that wanderer was crazy or brave or both, but they did it. They beat the root, and things got better day by day. Once it seemed safe to live outside again, Commander Ford made plans to build this town here. She was a force, that woman. Founder Ford came back once. Did I mention that? Almost 60 years ago, right after his daughter Ellen's mother passed away. Ellen couldn't have been more than 18 at the time, but she told him the war didn't need him. Didn't have room for some legend who was just as likely to leave as to lead. I reckon Founder Ford saw the wisdom of that, because a while later, he left again and didn't return for a long time. When he finally did, he wasn't leading us no more. He was content to leave the ward in better hands, Ellen's hands. Well, she fell sick some time ago. Most of us have lost folks without any chance to say goodbye. But we got that with Ellen. Why, she even made things right with her grandfather before the end, or so I hear. The two of them together put Bo in charge of the ward. No one was more surprised about that than Bo. But you know what? He's the right man for the job. Ain't no one loves the ward, loves these people more than the kid who was raised by him. He's gonna do all right. The Wanderer was on a mission from the start. Said something about getting to the tower on the old atoll out there. Sounded crazy the first time I heard it. But turns out, that tower was one of the old wards. The Wanderer's path wasn't easy, though. Our Wanderer had to track down Founder Ford just to find a way in. And that meant following his trail. Just you wait. I'm getting to that. Well, Ford had seemed had gotten himself mixed up in another world's affairs, helping a rebellion out here. And he was imprisoned for it. Now, no one here knew that, but the Root Mother knew. And that's who our Wanderer left to see. The Root Mother's got a story all her own, and I don't know half of it. Before she was the Root Mother, she was Evelyn Ford. That's right, the Founder's wife. Bound herself to the root, she did, and it changed her. Turned her into something else. But when the Wanderer showed up, she pulled herself out. The Root Mother, or whatever she called herself after that, sent our Wanderer down a trail of sorrow, at the end of which was the Founder himself. The Wanderer freed him, and used his knowledge to get into the tower, and destroy the last Dreamer. Or what we thought was the last Dreamer anyway. It did weaken the root for a time, but I guess that weren't the whole story. So the Dreamer was dead, the storm subsided, but the root, they were still around. Then Founder Ford tells us about the oldest ward, the first one, where the Dreamer Project began. He hoped there might be some clue there as to why the Deadwood was still coming to our world. So our Wanderer goes a-hunting. Oh, they found more than even old Ford bargained for. You ain't wrong. Place was full of doors, and I'm not talking about the quiet humankind. One of these doors led to the world of Remnant, where the Wanderer found Clementine. Clementine opened a door what nobody else could have opened. And inside? I hate to admit it, but I don't know what they found inside. All I know The root stopped coming when the Wander and Clementine were through. They done it. Saved the whole damn world. Just making sense of things. Stories make us who we are. If we don't share them, don't learn from them, we're just bouncing around in the dark. If you got scrap, I got you covered. All right, then. Take care, traveler.
Hey again. I hope it's stories you want, 'cause I got plenty. Well, shoot, traveler, I might have some answers for you. Don't think I told you this one yet. You met my boy Brabus yet? He's a handful, that one. Always has been. Got into a scrap when he was 5, he did. Knocked down a boy had to be, twice his age, and 3 to 6 times his height, at least. Well, that boy's pa didn't take it none too well. And this pa, phew, like a pair of fists with leg bones. That boy's pa wanted to take some skin out of me for it. Now, I ain't proud of what I did next, but, oh, who am I kidding? I wouldn't be telling you if I weren't proud, now would I? But, like I taught Brabus, say as I do as I say. And anyways, I couldn't back down from a fight, not in front of the crazy 8. Come to think of it, that's probably how Brabus got the way he is. Anyway, I fight the man. He could have crushed my head between market and roast beef, but I aimed to win, not fight fair. I pointed at nothing at all behind him, then smooshed a scoop of mud straight into his mouth. Then, while he was a-spittin' and a-sputtering, I hit him hard. So hard that when he fell, my muddy hand came away with 3 of his teeth in it. And that, friend, is the true story of how I got the name Mudtooth. Let me see here. Ho-ho! I've been telling tales about the Ford family for years. I tell you, nothing about them surprises me no more. Like old Commander Ford, one who used to run this here ward, she was the youngest of the family. She's the one what brought most of this town together. They say she's dead and buried, but they don't know the truth of it. See, the thing about the Fords is... I ain't asleep, just resting my eyes. They say she's dead and buried, but they don't know the truth of it. See, the old commander were the youngest, but she ain't the last. Old Ford, her grandpa, is still kicking here in town. Crazy old man went and fought the Deadwood head-on and lived. Her grandmother was half Root herself. Folks used to call her the Root Mother. And oh, she were a twisted one, let me tell you. The thing about the Fords is, they can't die. Not a single damn one of them. I mean, look, they all thought old Ford had died long ago, and there he is, plain as day. I don't care what anyone says. I swear to you on my unborn brother's life, the other Fords are still out there somewhere, too. You won't believe this one, but you should. You've been introduced to that girl Clementine. Powerful woman she is, but she weren't always so. She's near as old as Ford is, if you can believe it. Even older than my old bones, how about it? Those two have a lot in common, including traveling to other worlds. You see, she was born on Earth, but Clementine spent 100 years on a snow world called Resome. They call it that on account of some you read and some you don't. Anyway, what was she doing all that time? Training. See, Resome's full of giant talking rats. They got warrior rats and midwife rats and even mystic rats. Clementine, she learned under the tutelage of a two-headed mystic named Sebum. Taught her everything she knows. She don't talk about it, of course, on account of Sebum's a wanted man. Rat, I guess. But it's God's own truth. I met the man myself, rat. Oh, here's a good one. Back when the earth fell, a dragon, a real root dragon, took up residence over there, just like in old fairy tales. It started in them wards, see? Your eyes only hush-hush military conspiracizing farms and whatnot. That's where they made all their weapons and did them experiments. And just like those tales, it took a what now? It took a night to slay this dragon. Oh, but the dragon was crafty, all right. He knew the knight needed help, so the dragon gave it to him. Yep, the dragon took the form of a talking tree and told the knight if they wanted to slay that dragon, they'd have to slay all these other beasts first. A cyclops, a living statue, what do you call them? Golem. Well, the knight slayed them all. But the thing was, these beasts weren't protecting the dragon. They were holding him back. So when the dragon finally did reveal itself, it was too strong for the knight. And it took him, body and mind, and made their strength its own. Ah, here's a good one. Did I tell you I once sailed across that ocean to that old rusted tower? It was after that wanderer came through here and cleared out the storm. Old Mudtooth's crazy, you know, but I ain't stupid. I tell you, I saw things down there that I ain't seen in I'm telling you, that weren't no horse. Huh? Oh, right. Anyways, I tell you, I saw things down there that you ain't never seen in your life. Down there in that rusted place was just machinery and roots twisting every which way, like the root themselves had built it. But they didn't. No, that old place was called Ward 10 and 7. You can see it plastered all over, and it was built by humans. By the folks Ford himself used to serve, if you can believe that. Oh, he'll deny it, I'm sure. But all them electronicals they got down there are the same damn things you'll find in old Ward 10 and 3. In that place, I know he found it. He's the founder, after all. What were they up to down there? Now, that's the question. I heard some answers myself, but I don't know if I believe them. There's a story for another time. You won't believe this one, but you should. I ever tell you about the time I killed 300 deadwood in one go? Ooh, that's a tale. So, I lived up in this old, Heliochapataka or whatchahoozits great sniper's nest. Let me pop off deadwood from a mile away. But one night, I wake up to a rustling and a howling, right? I look outside, and there's deadwood all around the place. Hundreds of them. But they don't stop coming. And I'm thinking, this is finally it. But then, I see tucked away behind an old building the cracked open end of an old gas main. So, I squint my good eye and pray to Kennedy, Jeebus, and Cash. And I squeeze the trigger, and my bullet flies through the air like a hawk to a coney. Caw-caw! It scrapes the pipe, and boom! Whole damn horn goes up in flames. Not a single one of them left. Deadwood never did bother me after that. Don't think I told you this one yet. It's about the time my own damn son left me to die. Oh, don't worry, I'm still here, ain't I? Or he went to get some grub for us or whatever, I don't know. Point is, I was alone. We was on our... Now, I don't mind. We fucked. Ho. Long time ago, when I was just 10 years old or so. Sanctuary was true to its boy. See, they took me. Nah. Oh, here's a... This city ain't without its own tale. And within that tower is a man. Except he's not. He calls himself. I seen him myself. Even talked to him once. He says he watches over all of us. But if that's the case, then he ain't. But I reckon he means well. And that tower, I think, is like a spaceship he uses to teleport. Sure can. I ever tell you how the world fell in the first place? It started in them wards. Now, the root weren't meant. Well, we all own a reason. Now, which of us is most like... Let me see here. You want to know the truth about young Bo over there? To start off with, the boy ain't all that young. Why is that? Well... Why is that? Bo Ward, he made a deal. Don't believe me? He won't admit it. The boy's more than he tells. Here, right good listen, Tater friend. Tell you what, though, I'm a little light on the stories right now. I got just the cure for that. And I ain't take this. And check back with me later. I'm sure I'll have some... Sure can. Let's see. Ho-ho! So this wanderer comes up to visit me at my heliocopter, right? They're decked out with guns. I'm thinking they'll get tired, wander off, and take my story somewhere else like all the... And I think to myself, this mutter reminds me of my ma, tell you the truth, the way that wanderer reminded me of family. Ain't too long after that, I knew a good thing when a... Family's the most... Oh, here's... So I was on a scrounge. We could put the... But when it looked like... So we be out there... But I go past, and then... Sure can't crazy. Anyway, we hurl out. We... And that... I do... Oh, fine. That... Well... When I... There's an old man what lives at the center of a maze. Or does he live at the gate to them? I don't matter. This old man sees everything. And I don't mean like he can see whatever he wants when he wants. I mean, that ain't all. The maze, see, is like a spider web, and he don't just watch. And if this maze watcher decides he wants... Stop me if I told you this one already. I ever tell you the secret behind my stew? Well, I ain't gonna. but I will tell you how it came to be, yeah? The original recipe, my mom made a fine stew. We was trapped in one of them medicinal so we scrounged that night, and that, friend, is the same. You won't believe you heard about the old wards. The wards were where the root were born, and that's where it was worked. Leto. So, he says, and boy. Well now, I appreciate a listener as good as any, but even old Mudtooth can't talk forever. Let me rest a spell and see how I feel later. Well, shoot. Pity. I'll warn. Come round again sometime here.
Welcome back, Sunshine. What you got? Huh, tons. The old humans knew a lot about the human body, it turns out. Stuff even Grandpa didn't know. Did you know they used to be able to replace a man's lungs with someone else's? Or put a dead man's liver in... To think there's plenty if you... most stuff, but they don't. That's why so many folks die. Need anything else, Sunshine? Of course. You need anything, I'm here.
Hey, again? The what? That doesn't sound okay. Do you have any idea what's out there? This is the World Stone we're talking about. We've got to get a rescue party together. We have to make sure she gets back safe. Right. I forgot that you... Sorry, I'm just... You really think she's okay? Wow. Oh, all right, I guess I just have to accept that. Well, if you see her again, tell her that tell her that the town isn't the same without her. So, welcome back then, I guess. Anything I can help you with? I mean, I knew she was gone. I just didn't know she was that gone. Clem takes off from time to time, you know? It's just her way. She'll disappear for hours, sometimes days at a time. Well, I never liked it, but she can take care of herself, yeah? And it's not like I could stop her anyway. And she always came back, saying she just needed to be alone for a while, and I can respect that. I just wish she'd talk to someone, you know? Yeah, well, the Founder's his own thing, ain't he? It's not the first time he's disappeared on us. Not even the 5th time. Commander Ford, the Founder's granddaughter, used to say relying on the Founder was like running across rubble. Now, you could do it for a while, but sooner or later, it'll let you down. Now, I don't know if I'd go that far, but Founder Ford, he was always more of like... well, more of an idea to us than a leader. Hell, when I was a kid, everyone thought he'd been dead for years. But that's the thing about the Founder. He never stays gone. A week, a year, a decade. Somehow, he always finds his way back here. If you need anything, you know where to find me.
What aid can Dwell provide? Of course.
Until we meet once more.